Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic and Movie Show. My name's Deshaun and today I am here to talk about a bit of information that came out a couple days ago, but I never wanted to talk about it because I didn't know if it was something worth talking about. But since I've already seen a couple people that I follow talking about it, and I've seen people who are pretty, if they're talking about it, then it's probably a safe bet to talk about it. And plus, it's kind of like, I didn't want to talk about this because it's sort of a personal issue that's really no one's business. But since it's out there and since it's affecting another major movie, I might as well talk about this. Johnny Depp being fired. Well, I'm sorry. Johnny Depp resigning from his role as Grindelwald in the Fantastic Beasts movies. Now, we saw what it was. They said that we saw what he said. He posted up some stuff. Pretty much, Warner Brothers asked him to step down because of the ruling. Now, if you don't know what we're talking about, or you've been under a bridge, for the last few months, him and his wife, Amber Heard, have been in a battle in the courtroom. Now, I think it's like a civil suit kind of thing. I don't think it's like a criminal thing. But basically, he took her to court in like Britain. In Britain, for some reason it was in Britain. I don't know why it was in Britain, but it was in Britain. He took her to court because he was claiming that she was the abusive one in the relationship. Because, they're not that long ago, maybe 3-4 years ago, it started to be, that Amber Heard was being abused by Johnny Depp. Now, me personally, this is just my personal opinion, I don't know what's going on. Maybe Johnny Depp is a monster, and if he is, then fuck that guy. But me personally, when I heard about that shit, I was kind of like, I don't know how much I believe that, just because, not just because Johnny Depp's past history with other girls, but just because Johnny Depp just seems like a wet blanket of a man who wouldn't, not that he wouldn't hurt a fly, but I always thought that, I'm like, the kind of dude he is, the vibes he puts off, just as when you see him in interviews and whatnot, and you see him casually, and you see the way other people interact with him, he would be the one getting his ass kicked more than him kicking her. She would be kicking his ass more than him kicking her ass. And that's what I thought. I was like, I wouldn't be shocked if she was whooping his ass. I digress. And Johnny Depp, not that he didn't get blackballed, he didn't get blacklisted, but he did kind of get this, he kind of did come with this stigma. He started to get less and less big roles. I mean, that kind of came with his decision-making and poor choice of movies that weren't going too well. But he started getting less and less big roles. And it was huge controversy when they brought him back, when they brought him on to play Grindelwald on The Fantastic Beasts. It was a big controversy, not big controversy, but, it was a big thing. Some people defended him, some people didn't. I didn't really care because I never watched any of the Fantastic Beasts movies. But I digress. And Amber Heard went on to play Queen Mira in the Aquman franchise. So, she's got that going for her. And then earlier this year, it had to be about 8 months ago, the audio stuff came out from their therapy sessions. I don't know how it came out. I don't know who got it, but it came out and it was clearly them. Neither side really did not. It was clearly them. And the audio tape basically was her admitting that she's beating the shit out of Johnny Depp. That not only is she beating the shit out of him, that he's trying to get away from her sometimes when she starts going, and she just outright just said, "You should stand here and stand here and fight me back." And not only does those things happen, she just outright says in the audio tape, "No one's gonna believe you, Johnny." And I was like, holy shit. What's going on? This woman's a crazy bag of cats. And then he heard all this other stuff about her shitting in the bed and leaving it in the bed. All kinds of crazy things and shenanigans about the crap that's going on in their relationship. Then it starts to come out, leaks in there, from the court case that's going on, because clearly, there's going to be a court, because clearly people are going to want to know about this court case between these two big actors, even though he's a much bigger actor than her, because she ain't really done shit other than being Aquaman. Yeah, she's been in other things as the girl, as the female character, but she ain't him. She ain't Edward Scissorhands. She ain't Jack Sparrow. She ain't Johnny Depp. But yeah, like I said, I digress. So that stuff started coming out. So it started to pretty much become obvious to me, at least from stuff that come out. Like I said, I wasn't there. I don't know. I wasn't in that courtroom. We're all just kind of speculating. But from where I'm sitting, it seemed like a case of two awful people doing awful things to each other, or two shitty people. Now, maybe not terrible people, just two shitty people doing shitty things to each other. Seemed to me like some Ike and Tina Turner shit, where they had just beaten the shit out of each other. I remember the scene in that, I guess it was a, Tina Turner biopic with Angela Bassett, and I remember the scene of her and Ike and Tina. I just remember this scene of them beating the hell out of each other. Her just scratching him up and hitting him, and him hitting her, and them both just getting out the car, looking all fucked up and just shiveled, and just trying to pretend like nothing just went crazy down in there. Basically, that's their relationship. It's an equal split of them beating the shit out of and punching and hitting each other, and they're abusing each other. At least that's the vibe I get. If you're gonna send one to jail, you gotta we gotta send both of them to jail. But apparently, that's not how it went down. And the thing that sucked is that Johnny Depp, apparently, this is why things got bad. This is why he got fired, because he lost this civil suit thing he was going. I think it's a civil suit. I don't know. Comment below and tell me what it actually was. I am not that super knowledgeable about that stuff, but he lost whatever he was pushing towards her, which from what I hear, he basically lost because he was trying to make it seem like he was innocent and that she was the devil, when in actuality, she's not innocent, but neither is he. And since he's trying to push this narrative that he didn't do anything, that he is innocent, but he's not, basically it just makes you have to question everything else he's saying. Which personally, I'm like, dude, you're a moron. You gotta just you gotta let this go, because I know that, because she ain't fucking come at him. She hasn't tried to send him to court or anything other than to get a divorce, other than the divorce stuff, because she knows that the baggage will come out on her too. But like I said, a lot of people, even Grace Randolph, ironically, do feel a little bad for Johnny Depp because he's being pretty much vilified. Like, the judge just outright said, "You're a woman beater. You're a woman beater." Like that's what they wrote in the papers over there in Britain. Like, you're a woman beater. And I've actually heard from somebody on Double Toasted, which is a great YouTube channel, and Twitch, by the way. Twitch, you should check it out. That one of the guys on there was saying how in Britain, the way that their stuff works, like, you can write the way that their the media works over there, and like newspapers, or not newspapers, and articles and stuff, the way that it works over there, you need less to write more. Like over here, you have to get something, like, you can't just write, over here, you can't just write whatever you want about someone. Like, it doesn't, like, I know it doesn't seem that way, but you can't write whatever you want about someone. There's laws against that in America. Like, you can't just say such and such is a thing and just you can't say that. But over there, it's a lot lax about that. You can get away with a lot more stuff and saying a lot more stuff. And like some people like Grace Randolph and other people have said that the judge, and the way and the vigor and the anger towards Johnny Depp, that kind of seemed like it was spilling out, when clearly with anybody with eyes is kind of sitting here like, wait a minute, I know I heard that audio. I know I've heard talk about her. If you go back and look at her history, clearly this isn't some damsel in distress who was getting abused by some dude. Clearly she was doing as much ass kicking as he was. So what the hell's going on here? And then I heard some shit about the audio got thrown out because the judge, basically the judge said, just threw out the audio completely and said, that doesn't matter. Which is insane, because well, she said this happened. How can you just pretend like it didn't happen? But needless to say, he lost this. The judge dubbed him a wife beater, and he's a woman beater. The newspaper started printing that stuff. Warner Brothers said, hey, Johnny, we got to get rid of you because it's just too hot right now. Which I understand from a financial standpoint why they would do it. Makes sense to me. Hopefully this doesn't completely damage Johnny Depp's reputation, because I've never heard, because no one's ever heard something like this about him doing this before. It's not like he's got a history of beating a wife, but Amber Heard's got a history of being crazy, which is why it's like, which is why I'm like, I'm just going off the history here, and she doesn't have a record of beating the shit out of women, and you got a record of being crazy, so I'm just gonna, it is what it is. But it's kind of one of those things where people are like, so is Amber Heard gonna get moved? And how are they going to move her? Because Warner Brothers was so fortunate because they had an actual good reason to try to get rid of him. Because you could get sued over that, firing someone without a good reason. You get sued for that shit. But they had a good reason, and they can be like, oh, well, you damaged our bottom line. You're outside stuff, and they have a really good place to stand. But I don't know how much they got to stand on Amber Heard, even though I can't imagine they can't keep Amber Heard on Aquaman. They just can't. the distraction, the people constantly asking her questions about it, constantly being like, "Are you done playing the damsel in distress?" I mean, I don't want to go there, but it did rub me the wrong way. It did kind of feel like what's the word I'm looking for? A double standard here. The idea that if a man and a woman are if a man and a woman get in a fist fight and they're beating the shit out of each other, and like she's punching him, and he's punching her, like if Ronda Rousey got in a fist fight with another dude, the idea that the guy would get labeled a beater of women and the woman would just be like, you know what I mean? Like, it is a bit like, because it's like, okay, all right, they're beating the shit out of each other, so if you're gonna vilify one of them, you gotta vilify the other one. But that's not where they're going here. Basically, they went, we don't care what she did to you. You did that to her, and that's it. Which I'm like, oh man, that's just... I don't know if that's the way to go with this. Either way, Johnny Depp's not going to be in the next Fantastic Beasts, which doesn't really matter because those movies haven't really been making a ton of money anyways. We don't even know, like, sure, J.K. Rowlins, or just kidding Rowlins, is, you know, talking about, you know, the next one, but I mean, no one's really excited for it. The last one didn't make as much money as the first one. I don't even know if it made profit. Johnny Depp was actually, I never saw it, but I heard Johnny Depp was actually pretty good in it. And that's the only thing about Johnny Depp that I like. Johnny Depp was one of my favorite actors, and to this day I still enjoy him because he does bring something unique that unique to the table that only he can bring. When Johnny Depp's on screen, you know it's Johnny Depp. You know what he's bringing to the table. He has many levels he can go to. I'm just sad to see him lose another big role. I hope this doesn't completely ruin his career, and I hope Amber Heard doesn't just get to skate by. I hope she doesn't really just get to skate by and just walk away from this and just be like, well, I just hope so. But I really wanted to talk about, what do you think of this Johnny Depp situation? Johnny Depp fired off the Fantastic Beasts. What do you think? Comment below, let me know. Thank you guys for joining me on the Comic Game and Movie Show. I'll see you in the next one.